So, in 2018, the American Animal Hospital Association published a study where they looked at large numbers of patients that had been presented to over 5,000 clinics in North America. And these were animals that were presented for a wellness check, so healthy patients that were coming in just for routine care. And these are all animals that had diagnostic testing done on them. So a complete blood count, a full chemistry profile, and ideally urinalysis as well. And these are all processed through a reference laboratory. They looked at the hematology, just the numbers. They weren't able to incorporate the film review, but they were looking at things like a high white cell count, neutrophilia, a stress leukogram or eosinopenia, or anemia or reticulocytosis. For the biochemical side of the study, the way they looked at it to try and make sure that they weren't overdoing things is that for something to be considered a patient that warranted further investigation, they widened some of the reference intervals, and there needed to be at least 3 abnormalities detected before that patient was considered to warrant further examination. The only parameter that didn't require 3 changes, but 1 was enough, was SDMA. So when they looked at the data on that, they looked at adult animals, so then senior patients, then geriatric patients with that. With the adult animals, 1 in 7 had changes that were considered to warrant further investigation. In the senior animals, it was 1 in 5 had changes that would warrant further investigation. And in the geriatric patients, it was 2 in 5 that warranted further investigation. SDMA made a big difference in this study. For example, in the adult and senior patients, an extra 6 patients per 100 were found to have changes warranting further investigation by adding SDMA. So the take-home message from this study is a couple of things. Potentially, if you were looking at these patients individually in clinics, you might have found more that warranted further investigation, because you'd be looking at that patient's history. In some, you'd be looking at the film review as well, and things like that that would probably detect a higher rate of patients. But what it's showing is that even in patients presented that the owners consider are well, you're going to get value out of adding diagnostics to that wellness check. And by that, we can find things that, find abnormalities that potentially we can treat earlier, try and slow the progression of disease, and achieve better outcomes for clients. And we know these days, based on the Animal Medicines Australia survey in 2016, clients are expecting different things from their vets now, with nearly equal number of people presenting their pets to the vet to keep them healthy, as opposed to people presenting their pets to the vet just because they're unwell.